I think it is possible to say that my film poster was a success when it came down to conforming to codes and conventions of the genre. I think when comparing my poster to examples of real media posters, you are able to see the way in which I have been successfully able to conform to codes and conventions. The way in which I have placed the well-known actor's name at the top of the page shows that I have been able to conform to conventions of the film poster format. It shows how I have been able to do this given that when looking at real media text you can see how they have also placed the well-known actor's or producer's name at the top of the poster in isolation. I think the way in which I have also placed the title in the bottom thirds of the poster is conventional. You can see from looking at other media posters that it is conventional to have placed this information here. I think that it is conventional for the film title to be placed here, given that it means the film title is not blocking the image, meaning that the audience can look at the image and the editing techniques which have been used in order to encode what the film is going to be about. Another format convention which my poster follows is the inclusion of the billing box. Film posters often include billing boxes in order to provide audiences and consumers with information about the film if they wish to find it out. Most posters have a billing box when looking at film posters and real media products you can see that my inclusion of the billing box is conventional. You can see the way in which I have placed the billing box is also conventional. It is conventional given that the billing box has been placed within the bottom third of the 3x3 grid. It is also conventional given that it has been placed underneath the film title. From looking at the billing board positioning on my poster and on real media products, it is possible to say that the way in which I have positioned it conforms to the format conventions of a film poster. The inclusion of the additional information such as and the production company is also conventional. It is conventional given that when looking at real media posters you are able to see the way in which other posters include this information. This therefore demonstrates how my inclusion of this information is an example of how my product conforms to the codes and conventions of a poster. Also, the way in which I have positioned this additional information also provides evidence to suggest that the inclusion of this additional information conforms to codes and conventions. The way in which I have positioned the additional information so that it is tucked neatly into the billing board or in the bottom third of the 3x3 grid is conventional. It is conventional given that it means the audience can still see the image and the additional information is not getting in the way. It is also conventional given that looking at real media products you are also able to see the way in which they have placed this information here. Finally, I have conformed to the format conventions through the inclusion of the tagline. The tagline is a common feature within the format conventions of a film poster. The tagline informs the audience about the narrative of the film. Therefore, from looking at other real media products and my media product, you are able to see that my usage of the tagline was conventional. The way in which I have positioned the tagline also follows and conforms to codes and conventions of a film poster. The tagline has been positioned underneath the film title, and when you look at other real media products, you are able to see the way in which they also do this. This therefore shows how I've been able to follow and conform to codes and conventions of a film poster. I would say that my use of a close-up was also conventional. It is conventional given that when looking at other posters in the thriller genre, they also use close-ups to ensure that the subject is close to the audience. The close proximity of the subjects helps to make the audience feel tense and on edge, thus meaning that the use of the close-up helps to ensure that the shot conforms to the conventions of the thriller genre in an effective manner. The way in which I have edited the poster to allude towards the fact my central protagonist is not mentally stable but has a mental health condition is conventional to the thriller genre, and more specifically our subgenre, the psychological thriller genre. The editing of the images uses two main colours, blue and red. From looking at other film posters you are also able to see the way in which they use blue and red as conventional colours. Red connotes danger and thus proving that the way in which I have used a red gradient mask within my poster is conventional to the thriller genre. My poster is also conventional to the thriller genre in the manner in which the typefaces use shadows and reflections. Shadows are often a convention of the thriller genre, given that they help to create an eerie and tense atmosphere, thus meaning that the audience feels tense and on edge. From looking at other real media products, you are also able to see that the way in which shadows are commonly used in order to promote the thriller genre. Finally, in my poster, the use of facial expressions helped to encode the fact my film is a thriller film, thus ensuring that it conforms to the codes and conventions of the genre. The way in which I have directed for my character to stand with a dropped jaw and wide eyes gives the impression that she is not very happy but instead slightly lost and confused. This helps to encode a tense and eerie atmosphere due to the fact we feel tense and on edge for the character. From looking at other real media products, you can see the way in which they have also done this too, proving that my media product conforms to the codes and conventions of the thriller genre.